Welcome into the Saturday Night Snap Count. It's your boy, Coach I, man. Listen, a lot of good stuff to talk about today, man. We got a lot of big action in the Big 12, action in the SEC, Big 10. I mean, all over the place currently. Some Pac-12 going on as well. So, hey, man, without further ado, let's jump into it.
No, I got you on this one, Coach I. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The fanatic. But we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, A64. Yeah. FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call.
That's right, man. We're here for a Saturday night snap count, man. Talking college football reactions, man. If you're new to the channel, hey, man, listen, we talk college football every Saturday night and throughout the week, but especially here on the Saturday night snap count, we invite other collaborators and YouTube content creators in, man, to talk the day's college football. So go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, man, and share some content, man, with your people, man, so we can get this good content out, man. So last but not least, if you are going to rivalry week game next week and you haven't already done so, Fanatic Sports is sponsored by SeatGeek. Use the Fanatic Sports promo code Fanatic Sports to get $20 off of your first ticket purchase, man. Without further ado, man, let's jump into it, man. Let's bring on our guest, man. It's my guy, Clemson fan, and my guy, Chris Walton. Fourth and goal with Chris. What's going on, C-Walt?
Hey, what's going on, Coach? How's it going?
Hey, man, it's going good, man. Hey, another good day of college football. I'm a junkie, so it's always good when college football is in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yep.
So, hey, man, before we get started, C-Walt, tell the people where they can find you, man.
Yeah, you can find me at Fourth and Goal with C-Walt on YouTube, Twitter. I've dropped a few videos. I'm fairly new to the YouTube scene, so going over to Fourth and Goal with C-Walt, check out my videos, my channel, see if you like it.
That's right, man. Hey, new to the YouTube scene, but not new to me, man. We've been cool for a couple of years now on Twitter. Always talking good football. Sensible Clemson fan, knows his stuff, man. So let's bring in our guy. Y'all already know who's here, man. It's our guy from Hall of Fame College Football. It's Jason.
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
What's good with
What's
you,
going on,
man?
Jason?
Hey, see, Walt, how's everything? I'm
Pretty good.
happy
Hey, man.
that we got by there today, but
Hey, we're gonna talk about it, man. It was a good game. Listen, you called it. You said it was gonna be tough on the road. I think you've been saying that now for a couple of weeks now, so it's not nothing
been
new.
saying this since before the season.
Yeah. Hey, not for nothing. Like I said, we're gonna get into it, but BYU's a good team, man. So let's give some shout out to some of the people up in the comments, man. What's going on, Mike Wilkerson? My guy Mike Dub. What's up, my man? Steve B say let's go. That's right, man. Mike Dub say he got a friendly bone to pick with me. We'll talk about it, Mike. He said the feet's white. We appreciate you, man. Nathan Campbell is in the building. Mike is saying what's up to C-Walt.
What's going on, Mike? Peggy.
Hey, look at Peggy getting in for you. See, look at C-Walt already got followers. That's what I'm talking about.
You got love already. Check him out.
Hey,
Just
man,
start
Steve
hitting record. That's it.
That's right, man. Steve B with the score update. 22-20. I got that game on the Texas. Texas is in a battle with Iowa State 15-9. Missouri and Florida in the tough one, 30-21. And I want to say the other one that's up is South Carolina and Kentucky is also a close one. Stat guy will join us after the South Carolina game. He's kind of like me. He's not doing much of nothing when his team is on the TV. Hey, man, first off, man, prayers go out to Jordan Travis, man. If you are a college football fan, you was watching or paying attention to the updates. Dude got, we want to say a broken leg. I'm hoping it's a clean break. I know that sounds crazy, but I hope it's a clean break because you kind of heal faster and stronger from those. Hopefully it's not anything worse than that, man. So, prayers go out to Jordan Travis and his family. It's a tough one for Florida State, man. I mean, listen, they were down 14 or 13 before he went down. I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but I think they actually found out like what they should be doing even when he was playing, when he was in the game. So, but first up on document, Michigan at Maryland. We didn't get any crying today, Jason, but just the win, dog. It was a tough win though. Hey, Maryland played them tough though.
Yeah, man. Mike Locksley knows what he's doing down there. He's got a good quarterback. They, it's tough to do much in Maryland, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had the lead and they was up like 23-3, and then Maryland came storming back. Tagovailoa, hey man, runs in the family. Dude can throw the ball over the yard, but they just didn't have. Hey, at the end of the day, they didn't have enough Jimmys and Joes. See, Walt, did you get to see that one?
Yeah, I was kind of back and forth between the noon games, and I'm just not sold on Michigan, man. I haven't been all season. I'm not. I mean, they're a good team, but it's so hard to gauge the Big Ten. Michigan's just Michigan. They just walk into the season, play 2 tough games a year, and walk into the playoff right now.
Well, this is the thing. If one of those 2 tough games would ever, do what they're supposed to do, then maybe they wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But
no, I'm with you there. Yeah,
I mean, fire Franklin first.
Yeah,
listen, you already know where I'm at on that, and I like James
that. Might
Franklin.
be my next YouTube video.
Hey, I think it's time for him to pack the bags, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mike Wilkinson says, "Is 4th and goal with Seawalk the name of the channel?" Yes, it is. If you type in 4th, the and sign, not the word and then goal with the colon and then space C-walk, and you can get it. I'll put the link. Matter of fact, you know what's best? I'll put the link in the chat. Y'all give me a minute here. We'll do that. Let's get more people over there to 4th and goal with Seawalk, man. So,
man.
But yeah, man, Michigan, listen, I get it. They don't play anybody, and they play a boring brand, of football. You know what I'm saying? So I think that doesn't. But I don't think that goes, far with fans, because fans want to see you. I know, was a couple of years ago or something, they was like they had the most explosive plays in the nation and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, man, they just play a boring brand of football. And when Jim Harbaugh's not there, it's even worse.
Haven't won a championship since World War II either. So
But they won one in '97, dog.
97.
With the Heisman guy, my guy Charles Woodson.
Desmond. Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson, yeah, Charles Woodson.
Oh, Charles Woodson. Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
Yeah, Coach. What's going on, Coach? Coach Robo, I guess it is a Michigan should have lost today. Hey, man, that's how it seems to go a lot of times with Michigan, man. Some of these guys they'll give a good first half, maybe 3 quarters, they just end up being too much for them. So, hey, shout out to Michigan and old boy, the Moore, Coach Moore. Listen, man, he's 2-0. Listen, Jim Harbaugh should be punished for what he did, but it's kind of crazy that he doesn't get the credit for the 1,000th win for the University of Michigan. That's big time. I don't care who you're a fan of. He's not he didn't get the coaching the game. No, it's just like if you don't coach the bowl game, you don't get that win on your credit. Like you got to be
technically not the head coach. So
yeah, like you don't know.
They had a rule that if even that your assistants don't get that or whatever, because it's one of his assistants. I don't know. I thought that was a rule.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up. I think to be like if you suspended, I'm pretty sure they're not trying to give you that credit. But maybe if you was like sick or something, you know what I'm saying? So. Listen, man, in the ACC, Seawalk, Louisville went down to Miami and got a big win. They are matched up to play Florida State in the ACC Championship now. I watched that game, and Miami could have beat them.
I wasn't impressed with Louisville at all. I was more impressed with Miami in that game, even though they lost. Louisville, man, Plummer looked the worst he's looked all year, in my opinion. He didn't play a great game there.
No,
and Miami ran the ball pretty well. TVD played pretty well overall. I know they got the L, but Louisville, even if Rodemaker plays or even now that Rodemaker is going to be playing for Florida State, I might have to go back on what I said last week, man. I think Florida State's going to pull that win out in the ACC Championship game after watching Louisville this week.
Well, it's going to be hard if they ain't got Jordan Travis. I don't really trust their backup. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got back to running the ball, but Louisville's got
what they needed to do.
Which is true. No, Mike Oh no, Mike, I didn't think you was being there. I thought you was joking, dog. I just wanted to know if you the bone you had to pick. You my guy. But no, man, Louisville, listen, they do enough to win, and now they're 10-1 for the first time or in a long time at Louisville, probably since Charlie Strong. Jason, did you get to see any of that game?
The Louisville game, I didn't. I didn't.
This is my thing. My brother's
but
a
I
huge
like that
Miami
team,
fan.
and I've seen them a little bit this year.
Listen, man, my brother's a huge Miami fan. He's like so pissed off right now. I just like, man, Mario Cristobal is a former old lineman at Michigan. I think he has to update his offense, man. I don't know what's going on. You talking about a boring brand of football? Definitely. They play some boring football down there in South Beach.
Bro, yeah.
And they don't have.
He was at Oregon either.
Well, see, they don't have. You know what? And he had Justin Herbert at Oregon, and everybody wanted to know why he wouldn't let Justin Herbert throw the ball. And it's like he's got to come up out of that. Like you got two opposite ends of the spectrum from two opposite end coaches from the, like Lincoln Riley's all the way out in Cali and he don't want to run the ball. And then you got Mario Cristobal all the way in Florida and he don't want to consistently pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's an antiquated offense and they don't get consistent quarterback play either. So,
and they look so much better getting Restrepo the ball. You look at the last few weeks, he hasn't really gotten any catches and they've looked, worse than average, below average on offense. This week they look much better, honestly. I mean, Restrepo was doing what he can do, man. He's making long catches across the middle. They're moving the football, putting drives together, and that gave Fletcher the opportunity to run the rock, and he was over 100 yards.
So you think you think Cristobal is the guy for Miami?
I think what he represents makes him the guy. I'm not sure as a head coach he's really the guy from, just his ability to be a head coach. But I think what he represents for the University of Miami, I think he's pretty set for a couple of years. Yeah,
I think so. Plus, he's an alumni. Long as you have a winning record for the most part. I ain't saying they're gonna stand for that forever, but this only his second year, so. Mike Wilkerson and Coach Robar says, Louisville looks sharp. I think, listen, overall, I think they do. I think their defense is better than people know. They waited a long time to get Jamari Thrash the ball, though, today. I don't know what that was about.
Just watching Louisville, though, I think they were this week. They didn't play as well as they had. Like, this is one of their worst games out of the last 5 to 6 games.
Well, that says something, that they can go on the road, play not one of their best games and still win. So that says a lot. So shout out to U of L for locking up the championship in Charlotte, man, to meet Florida State. And you got to think they're going to be the favorite. Not to say they're guaranteed to win in Charlotte without Jordan Travis, for Florida State. So maybe Florida State.
If they run the ball like they did after Travis went down, you never know, man.
Exactly, which is what I'll be honest with you again, they're in the 330 slot, but they didn't though. But the thing is though, Florida State, even with Jordan Travis, if they have a balanced offense, you know what I'm saying, and not always trying to go for the home run ball, I think a lot of the close wins they had this year would have been way more like blowouts, you know what I'm saying? Because today we saw it, like the running backs they got. I'm not saying you should run the ball all the time. I'm saying you should mix it up. He's not always trying to throw it deep to Keon Coleman and the other guy. I can never remember 14's name.
Same thing you seem to see
Johnny Wilson.
Coach.
Yeah, Wilson. Same thing you see where, Jason?
Out on the West Coast.
That's what I'm saying, dog. It's like you got to have a balanced offense, man. So we'll see what Florida State does next year. Hey, listen, Florida's giving Mizzou all they want, which I think.
What's that score?
It is 28-30. Mizzou is up. They have the ball, but this is at Missouri. So that's Florida not giving up on the season is what I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about the Big 12, man. Listen, good matchup between OU at BYU. Listen, BYU was not going to go down easy. And again, Jason's been saying this since we started the snap count earlier this year. Each week, and OU winning. Hey, tough win. Gabriel goes down at halftime. That's not I guess before you give us your thoughts on the game, Jason, what's the status of his injury and how serious it was?
Kind of weird. It's kind of a weird deal, but first they were saying concussion, in which I keep going back and looking and I don't see where he got hit like that. So but now everything I'm seeing is like upper body injury of some kind. So I don't know what it is. They hadn't really said anything about it yet. You know, it's a concern, you know, because as we talked about on the show the other night, you know, you want to have him in there if you still have an opportunity to play for the Big 12 championship game, which it looks like Texas is going to go ahead and probably win this one, but there's still a chance next week. I mean, either one of those teams loses next week.
Oh no, I think Texas can pull it off. Not to come, sorry to cut you off, but it's 11 minutes left. You know what I'm saying? They only up a score.
They seem to be just better. And it's, you know,
well, we knew that
unless they just kind of fall apart. Well, I mean, we haven't seen them play bad though either. It looks like Quinn's kind of under control, and just from what I can tell. In any of it, I mean, Houston had 21-3 or something like that on, and ended up losing the game to Oklahoma State. And I mean, so
the Big 12 been kind of crazy like that this year. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, so that's why I say, you know, any road win is for sure a good win. OU going into BYU and winning, I think that was good. I know it may not have been like some fans may have liked it to look, but at the end of the day, you got the dub. You know what I'm saying? So, why do you think the game was as close as it was? You know what I'm saying?
There's a couple of reasons. And you know, talking about it on our show, it was first and foremost, you know, you gotta do a little better with the defensive front. Struggled. I think they had wet the field though a little bit, and it was definitely long. So I think that they had some issues with the way the field was put together. That being said, you still want to see them, but and I think that if anything, that's still that area that has to get better before they get to the SEC or you know, with this class and with what they're doing. I'm not too concerned about that. And then the other part of it is that, you know, once Dylan went down, you know, they kind of got thankfully they went to the run a lot more, and you saw
which they should have
kind of get his same but you know, they weren't great on offense. I mean, you know, and look, you got a freshman in there. We talked about it earlier this week that, you know, you want to make sure that you have a guy with you know, experience whenever you get into these big games. And that's where I feel like, you know, he missed a big shot. Jackson Arnold missed a big shot there on that the last drive. Let's see. That last drive on first down, which I was glad to see him throw it.
I know it, right? Because he only threw it 9 times in the second half.
Yeah, but you know, but he also hit a couple of big throws on third down. You know, the one that clinched the game, and then earlier on there before they missed a field goal. They're just kind of, you know, I don't know. They're not great offensively anyway. I don't feel like as good as they are. I don't think that they're fully all the way there. And then defensively, they still got work to do. You know, in the end, you know, well, and coach says they both played on the same field. Yeah. And they went out there and they ran and they did what they were supposed to do. Look, you know as well as anybody that when you go, this is one of the tougher places to play in America is in Provo. And I've been saying it, as bad as they've looked on the road, they've looked good at home. When I did
my Big 12 preview with Stat Guy, I said that OU didn't want to play BYU at night. So I think it's good that you guys played it in the day, because Provo is not where any team wants to go.
It was still rowdy even during the daytime. And so it was, you know, it is what it is. But and I think the counter and the option play. Look, they had a different quarterback in there that's you know, he's played the last 3 games, but this kid looks like he's going to be really good. He's a gamer. Yeah. And you know, you just expect that you're going to get everything that you can get.
Yeah, for sure. You know, for sure. Coach gets in. Yeah, like I say, man, any win on the road in conference, I'm telling you, man, like that's a big win, especially against a team that actually can play some ball. You know what I'm saying? Mike Wickle says, did y'all know the last first down to Farouk that won the game, Jackson Arnold called an audible? How about that?
Yeah, we talked about that on the show because, you know, he was big, you know what I mean? It's he recognized something that they'd been talking about all week. And when you're not the starter, you know, how involved you are in that in that talk is questionable sometimes, you know, but apparently he was paying attention and he recognized it. That's an important thing. If you recognizing a certain thing that's coming from the defense and you're making that check as a true freshman, I like it.
Well, that's what Kirby always talks about, the players that's injured or not getting those mental reps. That's showing that Jackson Arnold was taking his mental reps serious, because not all people take those serious. So, hey, man, I think that's good. Who y'all got next week?
it will be TCU at home in the Palace.
So you would like to get a lead on TCU, you know, a big lead, so he can get
Yeah.
some real action. You know, that's one thing that you want as a backup quarterback. C-Walk, did you catch the OU BYU game?
Like I said, I was in and out. I really had a question for Jason.
Okay.
When I jumped back in, or when I left the game, BYU was leading, and I turned back. OU was leading. Was that a pick six?
Yeah,
How did-
100-yard pick six for Billy Bowman.
Gotcha.
You know, big play for him. And again, you know, look, this is a defense that, you know, they struggle with the run today, but they, again, 3 turnovers they forced. They lead the country in interceptions. They're right near the top in total takeaways. You know, it's a new way for Oklahoma to be able to stay in games, and that's, you know, it's a new way for Oklahoma, you know, at least in the last 10 or 15 years. So,
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
it's they're looking really good in the secondary. I think that they've had attrition throughout the year. You know, you've had some stuff, and I'm not too sure that they still haven't put in some of the guys you want to see along that defensive line because of freshmen or whatever. You know, PJ Adebawari, I want to see him play a little bit more, but you know,
I don't remember you talking about him a lot.
Yeah, it definitely was a big difference in the game. Definitely a big difference. So, yeah, man, they Coach Venables is definitely changing things around to where, you know, I think you want to see better from that offense in certain areas. But again, Gavin Sawchuk, he had some hard running, some hard yards that he was able to pick up today. That's his 3rd straight game over 100 yards. You know, a lot of us were kind of wondering where the hell he was earlier in the year. But, you know, kind of is what it is. And, you know, but it's good to see him kind of get going. And, you know, this is the right time of year to play well.
Big facts, big facts. Stat guys joining us via audio until the South Carolina game goes out. So what's going on?
It's
Stat?
over.
Hey, bro, that South Carolina game's final. I'm gonna need a little bit before y'all see my face.
Oh, what was the final score?
17-14. South Carolina came away with the W.
Ooh,
hey,
nice.
That makes that game next week, which we'll talk about that much more.
Gives Carolina something to play for.
Hey, that's right, man. That's right. Hey, it's starting to get that time now. My guy Mars Jam is up in the house. What's going on, Mars? Mars, listen, man, keep calling them dog scores like you call them, man. The dogs went off today. We will talk about that. Mike Dub says big turnaround from BV from last year. That's true. That's true, man.
Yeah, sure
so did the Irish play today, Coach?
Yeah, I think they won. They beat Wake 45-7.
Oh yeah, it was they. Yeah, okay. That's why I didn't remember. They was just blasting people. So Nathan also asked. I guess he got in after you talked about it, Jason. The Gabriel injury.
I don't know how bad it is. Like I said, we all thought it was a concussion. I still haven't seen where he would have gotten a concussion, but now they're saying upper body. I don't really know what it is, to be honest with you. So they hadn't really said anything about it. I'd sure like to see him kind of get a chance. TCU's the one that knocked him out last year, right?
Yeah.
And it was a bad hit. You know, they hit him on a slide and knocked him out of the game, and it knocked him out of the Red River game too, which turned into a debacle. So I'd kind of like to see him get an opportunity to kind of get a little get back on him, you know, at home. But you know, hey, listen, if it ends up being Jackson, he gets a full week to go. We're going to find out a lot about him. You know, and chances are, if those two teams win out, which Iowa State just got back in, if they're only down 7, but if those two teams win out, you're not going to the conference championship anyway. You might as well get him some reps.
Yeah. Hey, so just some score updates. Actually, I don't know if I'm ahead of you a little bit, but Iowa State just kicked the field. Texas just kicked the field goal. Okay. And it's 26-16 now, but it's 6 minutes left in the game. Oregon State has the ball, down 22-20 with less than 4 minutes to go in that game. They're on about their 45, and DJ almost
that was bad, bro.
Yeah, and then you got Florida and Missouri. Oh, Graham Mertz went out too. I don't know what the injury was, but he just came up after a handoff and was like pointing to right here around his like shoulder socket, and he hasn't been back in the game yet. So but they got a minute.
First down, it's going to be over. That missed pass was on 4th down. So
Yeah. Hey, man, it was like a torrential downpour out there. So that's right. Wallace, what's going on, Wallace? He says a lower leg injury for Travis. He's done for the rest of. Yep, man. I think, like I said, I thought it was more like a
It looked like a
broken
snapped
leg.
ankle.
Yeah,
It looked like a
yeah,
snapped ankle.
exactly.
It's ugly. It's no, don't want to watch it if you got weak stomach.
Yeah.
It's not sitting right.
And
Yeah.
I wasn't watching the game during the injury, but I hope they didn't replay it a lot. I hate when they do that, and knowing people's families are watching and stuff like that, man. It's like don't. I know they do it for ratings and all that stuff, but you're right, Mike Dub. You and Mars been calling them dogs, man. So let's talk about the 3:30 slot, man. Talk about my dogs and talk about Clemson, man. Listen, I watched Kirby's press conference, and the thing is, me and Shawty talk about it all the time. We actually talked about it on Respect the Hedges, how we give up 7 of our 8 SEC games. We've given up scores on opening drives, which is different from 21 and 22. We never gave up, opening drive touchdowns or whatever. So the reporter asked Kirby, he's like, so how'd you feel about what happened on that? It was the first play of the game, for those that didn't see. The first play of the game, we kicked off to Tennessee, first play of the game, 75-yard run to the house. Tennessee scores. And so the reporter says, Kirby, what happened on the first play of the game? He was like, well, me and Glenn Schumann talked about it before the game. We was like, if they going to score, we might as well get it out the way. So basically, that was where, you got a freshman linebacker in place for Jamon Dumas-Johnson, a finalist for the Buckets War last year, who's out. He took the wrong read, read the wrong hole. They busted, credit to Tennessee. But after that, it was 38-3 from there on out. I mean, they couldn't really do much at all. So kind of like most people said, you know what I'm saying? The Rocky Top atmosphere. I don't know why Tennessee fans thought that was going to be something different for Georgia. We play there every other year. So I don't know. Seawalk, did you catch any of that game?
Hoping.
Very, very minimal, man, because I was, watching my game. But after that first play, there wasn't much to watch, so I mean, unless you're a dog fan. So
yeah. Jason, did you catch any of that, man? Listen, Carson Beck was 24 for 298 yards, man, and 3 TDs. This dude is playing lights out. Listen, he'll get the media hype, but listen, I talked to a Heisman voter last week, and I was like, look, man, is my boy gonna be on the ballot or what? You know what I'm saying? And he's like, well, we can't tell you who we're voting on, but there's no reason why he shouldn't, at least, if he does what he does at Tennessee, needs to do at Tennessee, and then again against Alabama, he could at least possibly get to New York. I don't think he's going to win it, but I want some love for my boy.
Yeah, I mean, 298, 3 touchdowns, he's just efficient too. You know what I mean? He's just efficient. He just goes out there and gets it done. 24-30.
You know what I'm saying? My bad. Yeah, 24-30, man. It's like crazy, man. What you gonna say, Seawalk?
I was just gonna say, man, listen, I hate to give Georgia any credit, right? I just, being from right there on the border, I can't stand Georgia, and it ain't the university, it's the fans that were born in South Carolina and swear they're Georgia fans, right on the border. Okay, anyways, listen, Carson Beck's senior year in high school, he didn't look good, and I got to give the Georgia staff credit, man, because they really brought him along. So, and he looks awesome, man.
Well, I'll tell you that. So his junior year, he led his team. He plays in the highest classification in Florida, led his team to a state championship. He literally lost from the wide receivers, the 3 starting wide receivers and the running back, from the 2 deep. He lost 6 of his 8 2 deep from that. So that's why he didn't look good his senior year, even though he ended up coming back and bringing them to the playoffs. You're right. He didn't look good. Trust me. I know. I followed him since.
I get it. Yeah, I get it, man. But I just wanted to give that staff credit because.
But you're right. I mean, Mike Bobo and Todd Monken, they do their thing. But I've been saying, even when JT Daniels was there, I said JT Daniels was the best at reading defenses. Stetson had the athletic ability. But Carson's always been the best passer on the team, even when he wasn't playing. It's just the first couple of games, he admitted that he was a little nervous. I mean, he hadn't started the game since his senior year, which was, 2020, I think it was, or whatever. 2019, and so he's coming along, man. But shout out to him. Wallace, it was Allen. It wasn't Munden. I know the Gary Danielson said Munden initially, but Munden actually went to I want to say it was the two gap or whatever, and CJ Allen guessed wrong and went to the outside. He was supposed to fall into the left too. And it was right in the hole where I want to say Jalen Wright, the Tennessee guy, ran up out of there. So it was a bad run fit. But even Kirby talked about how our safeties normally make up for that. Like, okay, busted front seven coverage, but our line normally stops them around the 20-yard line. And they actually, because Tennessee has those wide splits, it was hard for them to get back over into the play, which, again, kudos to Tennessee for doing that. Mars says
31-30.
There we go. There's a minute and 16 left. Mars says Carson is cool as a cucumber. Washington held on for the win. Listen, you got to win them close ones, man. Oregon beat the snot out of Arizona State, and Arizona beat the snot out of Utah. So Arizona is still in this thing. I think they got to play Washington next week, maybe.
No,
that's Washington
State, and you got Oregon State.
If Oregon State beats Oregon, then I want to say Arizona has a chance at some kind of tiebreaker with them. So
yeah.
So, but yeah, man. Hey, man, kudos to these teams getting these close wins. Let's talk about the ACC. Clemson handled UNC. I'm gonna tell you, for a minute there, man, it looked like it was gonna be easy for UNC, man, in the first quarter or so. Dog, like they was just moving the ball like at will. And I'm like, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Nate Wiggins is a good corner, but that dude is handsy as all get out, though. Like he be holding some folk.
Yeah, hey, but he gets pushed off on a lot too. All right.
Hey, if they don't call it,
yeah,
hey, it ain't a penalty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So go ahead and give us your thoughts on the Clemson game, man, and how you thought they did today.
Look, man, it's 3 wins in a row, 2 against top 20 teams, man. They're trending up. That's for sure right now. I think they've broken through that wall and kind of come out on the other side. You know, the game kind of went exactly how I thought it would go. You had good on good and bad on bad. Their offense against our defense and our offense against their defense. And I thought the difference would be if Hampton had a big game. I thought North Carolina would win the game if Hampton had a big game. Well, he had a big game, but Drake May didn't have quite as good a game as he needed to have to win. So, like you said, first quarter, that was rough. I was, you know, just like last week, the first quarter was bad. But, you know, we've had some of those exact plays like Hampton fumbling at the half-yard line or 1-inch line, whatever you want to say, going into the end zone. You know, those plays, those suck, but you gotta tuck it in, man. And they lost. They could have been up 21-0 early in that game. It probably would have been over halfway through the first quarter, honestly. But Clemson found a way to push through that, and then they settled in at home, man. And I'm gonna say it again this week. Those freshmen in that secondary are ridiculous, man.
No, they're good.
They are ridiculous, and that's got to excite the Clemson fan base to see those guys. But once again, when number 13 and number 33, Tyler Davis or Ruka Roro, are out on the field, people can run wherever they want, man, and it's driving me nuts.
Seawall can't get those guys off the field quick enough.
I mean, I'm one of them guys. I was so glad they came back. And halfway through the season, I'm thinking, man, I wish they would have just left some scholarships open at this point, man. Xavier Thomas, too. He gets out on the field and, you know, at the end of the game, his presence did make an impact, but statistically, he's done nothing all season, man. So the defensive line's been a disappointment. The run defense, the discipline from the D line with the number ones, because when the 2s and 3s come in, it looks pretty good.
And that's what I was just about to say. I think some of that is because they played the older guys longer than they should be, when it's obvious that the freshmen and the sophomore guys that get in that rotation do better. I mean, that's been obvious even since the Duke loss, you know what I'm saying? Peter Woods and the other freshman that came in with him that's actually playing really good. Like, some of those guys up front do way better than Tyler Davis ain't been Tyler Davis since his freshman year, bro.
He regressed every year, man. His freshman year, he was really good. He's regressed. Rook was one of those 3-star guys who had to develop, and last year he looked really good. So this year, man, he looks like that sophomore Rook again, man. I don't get it, but hey, it is what it is. But I will say, Trotter balled out of his mind again. This is
Yeah,
about 4 games in a row where
bro.
Trotter has
Oh.
just playing like a
I-
monster right now.
I
He's
saw.
got
Freshman, right?
No. He's
Trotter's
a
a junior.
junior. He's a junior. Him and
Oh.
Barrett Carter, they came in the same year.
Oh, okay.
And I saw
Yeah,
somewhere a Clemson fan on Twitter say, "Well, what if those guys come back?" I'm like, "Listen, man, Trotter probably a first round, if not the early second round linebacker. He is not."
Hey, if they
back.
come back, I would never complain, right? I mean, I said that with the D line too, but hey, yeah, I can't see those guys walking back in the Clemson locker room after, the bowl game. Like, I think Carter might have lost a little money this year because
I think so.
Each week that goes by, he's a little less effective in the game. Like Trotter's taking his hype.
I will say though, when it comes to the combine, Carter's
going to demolish it.
He's gonna way outperform Trotter in the combine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like that.
But I hate the combine. I wish the combine didn't exist. I'm a game film person, man. I want to see what you did on the field.
Big facts.
Not without pads on. Anyways,
Jason, you catch into that Tigers versus the Tar Heels?
I was kind of flipping it back and forth once the second half got around. Yeah, man. They look different. They look different, man. That defense is, and they're ballers, man. You know what I mean?
That secondary, definitely for sure. I think, like Seawald said, it definitely the running back. When I stopped watching the Clemson game, the running back had 161 yards on 14 carries. So I was like, I don't know what's going on up front, but they getting smashed.
Same thing's been going on all year, man.
Hey, Matt Campbell throwing a fit. Triggered. That's what he does.
Let me touch on the offense real quick.
Yeah.
All right, so Clemson, I think Bo Collins is probably done for the year.
Okay.
He tore his plantar fascia, or however you say that.
Fasciitis.
So I think he's done for the year.
Before you go, score update 31-30. Florida is up. 8 seconds left. Missouri just completed the pass to get into the field goal range. They're at the 20. This is probably 30-yarder. Let's see if he makes it, because he did hit that 61-yard against K-State. But sometimes the easy ones are the hard ones. This is for the win. Let me tell you. I know they'll get to run a kickoff back, but they probably won't have enough time to do anything if he can hit it right here. And it's 26-16 still Texas, Iowa State. By the way, Texas has the
they're
ball.
about to run it out.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 44 seconds left. That game is pretty much over. Look at Texas. Hey, man, 10 wins. While we wait on Missouri's kicker, 10 wins for Texas. They got one more game. Sark is trying to keep his hopes alive to get into the playoffs. Even doing it without Jonathan Brooks. So shout out to Sark for getting 10 wins finally. Who is this running back? Who is this guy they got? Number 4, Texas. And I think I got you. And following, when I was watching the game, the momentum changed to Texas. It was 3-3 at halftime, by the way. Or was finna be 3-3.
No, that's
Missouri wins.
Missouri won. He hit the field goal. Hey, man, that dude is clutch.
Well, okay, they got 5 seconds left, but it's 33-31.
Yeah. But Texas, it changed right before halftime when Texas hit a field goal to go up. I want to say it was 6-3. CJ Baxter.
That was CJ Baxter, actually, not Jaden Blue.
Yeah. CJ Baxter. All right, Seawalk, my bad. Go ahead, dog.
Oh, you're good, man.
He's talking about the offense. Yeah.
Hey, look, whatever pissed off Will Shipley came out, that's the guy I want to see every week, man. Like, after that fumble, he came back and he was a completely different back. I hadn't seen him move like that since he was a freshman. Like, I just that rage and anger took over him. I wish I could see that on every play from him, man, because it seems like this year, I don't know where that fire's been. But him and Moffitt worked again, man. That combination is hitting its stride right now, and it's helping Cade be more efficient. His stat lines look a little better every week.
So you thought Cade played good today?
I think he's played better than he had been, through the earlier part of the season. He's still making decisions that I'm sitting here scratching my head like, what are you doing, man? Like, there comes that freshman Cade again, and you're almost a junior. Or come on, man. Like,
yeah, I definitely agree, dog. I saw a couple of throws, and I'm like, that wasn't a good throw or a good decision. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's his decision making. We know he has the physical tools, but his decision making sometimes, I'm like, bro, you are not like, you way too far removed from high school to be making some of the decisions.
Yeah, you've been in the program 2.5 years at this point, or going on 2.5 years. Like some of the stuff you're doing, some of the decisions you're making should not be happening.
What about my boy Tyler Brown? How'd you feel like he played today?
He played all right. Man, the first the overthrow by Cade and then the drop, man, I was like, come on, man. I don't need freshman Tyler Brown here, man. I need that Tyler Brown that made the one-handed catch in the end zone.
Yeah. The overthrow was egregious. I mean, he had him all day. Like you can't overthrow that pass. If he can't, like if he doesn't overthrow him, that's 6 because that guy wasn't catching Tyler Brown. So I don't know, man. I'm up in the air on Cade, man. Like I said, I know he got the physical tools, but just every week he does something. I'm like, he just ain't that 5-star that
mentally, man. It's not clicking all the way right now, and hopefully this offseason that he takes another step because just like the clock was with DJ, it's going to be ticking. Like this is the year that people are going to start really getting on Cade like they did DJ, and if it starts out bad next year, he's going to get the same treatment. And they're going to be looking for Chris Vizina.
It's that third year at Clemson, boy. Y'all got a timetable. Y'all sticking to it regardless. I'm like,
well, man, after 3 years in the system, it's got to be better than freshman play.
That's what I was gonna say. They got Tyler Brown. I actually listen, man. I'm watching Randall played like I thought he should have been playing all year. I'm like, finally, you're playing like.
Well, we're finally throwing it to him a little bit. I mean.
And not for nothing, he did get banged up the first couple of weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but hey, man, like Jason said, I've always said it's the guys on the outside. I thought too much blame with the DJ. I'm not saying that DJ and Cade didn't deserve blame in DJ's place and don't deserve blame in Cade's place, but you gotta have guys on the outside and just having Tyler, that's not really enough.
And FYI. I was one of the few Clemson fans who tried to stick with DJ, tried. And then you get halfway through last season and it's like, all right, man, we got to try something else. It's not the receiver's fault you're throwing it in the ground now. Like, it's the team's fault. I get it. Like it's everybody.
Quarterbacks are like kickers though, man. It's a mental thing. And if your receivers
get to a certain point,
if your receivers aren't catching the ball, dog, like at that point, you're trying to adjust your throw to fit them when you shouldn't have to. You should be able to just throw the ball and they adjust to whatever quarterback's playing. That was my thing. And it's like, I get that I always said his intermediate game wasn't the best, but and I didn't say he wasn't a problem, but Clemson fans, I used to argue at work all the time with Clemson fans. Like I'm arguing for DJ. I'm like, he is not the biggest problem, bro. He isn't. I'm telling you, he wasn't.
But watching him tonight, his issues are still the same issues he had at Clemson, man. Overthrows and underthrows, man. It's when he throws a nice pass, it's nice.
But there's so much few and far between at Oregon State than it was.
It's been a lot different. And I'll say this about DJ as far as this season's gone. You got to figure they don't have the same kind of talent at Oregon State that they have at Clemson. And and it was a good move for him though, because of going out there, learning to read defenses, being in a pro style offense. That's going to be good for him as far as at the next level, and we've had his dad on the show and stuff like that. And I was really impressed with, he was on the Jordan Palmer, that QB show that they do where they break down stuff and break down film and all that stuff, QB room. And Jordan Palmer and I forget that other quarterback. He plays for Washington though, but they were both talking about, they were like, dude, you're way ahead of the game now as far as reading defenses. Cause Jordan's always helping guys get ready for the draft and, to get ready going into the season. And he was there reading it off the film and he said he learned a lot. So I think that it's a good situation for everybody involved. He doesn't ever hate on Clemson. He doesn't. So, he never badmouths him. Even though, he's gotten a lot of heat and I think it was kind of unfair sometimes, but it is what it is, man. We're like that with DG at Oklahoma. Unfair.
If you're a starting quarterback, man, at any school, it's going to be on you regardless of who the other problems are.
Listen, man, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be honest with you, man. It doesn't matter if you're a coach or a player or whatever. there's always a faction of the fan base that can find a problem. Man, I literally went back and forth on Twitter with this Georgia fan about Mike Bobo. Like, bro, stop. Like, if you like, I had to show. I'm showing them numbers. I'm like, if you just don't like Bobo, just say you don't like Bobo. It's not the results that you're mad at, because it can't be. They're literally the same, if not better, in some areas than Todd Monken. So if you don't like him, just say you don't like him. Like, but that's just how people are. I always tell Stat Guy, fans remember, like, one section of time, regardless of whether it's a season or a couple of games or one game. And then they say they use that one moment in time to quantify the person's whole performance. Like I say with DJ, I feel like, he had some bad games, but when I'm watching, I'm like, a couple of times, I'm like, these receivers aren't helping him out. You know what I'm saying? At the beginning of Carson's tenure this year, our receivers helped him out a little bit. The OC helped him. Mike Bobo helped him out a lot with the play calling. And I thought those are two things that he didn't. Steve G gets in the building. What's going on, Steven? I don't think I'm not saying Tony Elliott was bad, because I like Tony Elliott, but what's the guy that was the one last year? He was
Streeter, Brandon Streeter.
Yes. He should have never been OC. He should have never been OC,
no, I agree. That's where Tyler from Spartanburg comes in, man. It's Dabo bringing.
That was Streeter.
Well, that's one of those, you were a Clemson alum. Let's bring you in here and we'll build you.
Yeah.
Can't do that with everybody, man. You cannot do that with everybody.
You can't. And you got to know that. And I think he probably kind of seen that. That's why I don't think he gave him as much time as he probably would have gave somebody else, because I think he realized that early on. He was like, I shouldn't have did that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that went. So, Hey, man, but Clemson looks to be righting the ship. The big one next week, going on the road at night in Columbia. I don't think that's a gimme win for y'all. I think y'all are the better team, but South Carolina loves playing in Columbia at night. So I think it's going to be a game to watch for some people. Listen, you guys are 7-4, looking to try to get to 8-4. South Carolina needs the game to be bowl eligible. Once Stat Guy comes on, we'll let him talk about it. But they already don't like Clemson, so they was going to get up for the game. But this is more to play for. I'm glad they beat Kentucky, because I wanted them to have something else to play for other than just pure hate for Clemson. So Clemson's just playing for pure hate for South Carolina, you know what I'm saying? So Oklahoma State gets the win versus Houston. It was a big win. Number one, their running back has another, number 0? Whichever the number. He had another big game. Zero. Yeah, Ollie, he had another big game, dog. And like you say, for a while, it definitely looked like Houston was going to pull that one off. Oklahoma State did what they had to. One more win, and they go to the Big 12 championship. I didn't catch all of that game, Jason. What was Houston not doing after they got a 20-point lead so that Oklahoma State could come back?
Seems like they just fell. I think they had getting that lead. I think they had like 18 plays, and they had like 200 plus yards or whatever. I know that by midway through the second half, and they had gone like 7 straight series where they were 3 and out or punted, something like that. I mean, it's just Donovan Smith isn't very good. The guy's got a big arm, but he's not very accurate. And and I think that Dana's not very good. So I don't know.
Well, Morris says Houston got tired of chasing the Oklahoma running back. I'm telling you, man, the dude put in work, man. He's a load too. He is a big guy.
Man, he is. And when he gets going, if he doesn't get going early, then he can kind of lose. But something clicked in him today after that, and he's a good player, man. Straight up, there's no two ways around it. How he got out? He's from Norman, so I don't know how the hell he got out of there without. Or no, he's not. No, he's not. I think he's from Fort Worth or something like that. But
what year is he?
Why he didn't get recruited there?
Well, you got to think about what year he came out and who you guys recruited in the year that he came out. You know what I'm saying? Because he may have gone to a whole bunch of camps. You couldn't see him a lot or whatever, and then there may have been some.
He's definitely a stud. I think he's from Fort Worth though. But yeah,
well, you Fort Worth. I mean, it's state of Texas. There's a lot of running backs in the state of Texas. So I can see it could be easy to get overlooked. Morris said he looked great. He did. And next week, BYU has to go to Oklahoma State. It's good that they get that game at home, but it's still a good BYU team. So we'll see what happens. They had to win this game to solidify their spot in the Big 12 championship. So we'll see if they can do that. You know what I'm saying? Texas has who next week?
Tech at home.
Ooh, yes. I keep forgetting about that because y'all commissioner talked about that one in the media days about not wanting to come there and being disappointed. I think he might get disappointed. I don't know. Texas Tech has let me all the way down, so I'm not counting on them for nothing. I picked them to be the sleeper in the Big 12.
But they shouldn't. They almost didn't win today against UCF at home. So
that's right, man. They out here making me look bad, dog. I don't care what they do. Nathan says, how many yards did the top OSU receiver does the top? I don't know. We have to look that one up.
That's probably I don't know how many he had today, but he's
stats. You want me, Nathan? Are you asking about yards on the season or yards today? That may be two different things. So let us know what you're talking about. We'll try to find that for you. But the Big 12, hey, listen, Oklahoma's still not out of it. If Texas takes a L next week, you're right there. You're in it. Because you got the tiebreaker over them. So we'll see what that is.
Today had 189 on 15 receptions.
You got 189?
Yeah.
Jesus.
15 catches.
Wow.
Yeah, that's probably Alan Bowman's best day in like 4 years. He had 348 and 2 touchdowns. Ollie had 164 and 3.
And then on the season, the top receiver on the season is Rashad Owens, actually. Hold on. Yeah, Rashad Owens with 530 yards. That's it.
It's about right.
So it's not like they're killing the game, but hey, the thing is they spread the ball around. Owens has 530, Presley has 467, Bray has 349, Leon Johnson has 280, Ollie Gordon out of the backfield has 246. So Stribling 198. So it's like they're spreading the ball around. It's not like they're throwing it all over the yard. Bowman, I mean, they did go 4 weeks with a quarterback carousel or something like that. So let's talk about this. So I didn't watch this game. A lot of people was texting me about it every update. Auburn gets beat at home by New Mexico State, dog.
Yeah, Adam, we don't want to hear about this Jordan Hare thing crap anymore.
So Mike, because this is early, he said, Friendly Bone, I want to pick about having to go to. Listen, I get it. They took that L at Jordan Hare. That doesn't mean it's not a hard place to play. I don't know what's going on. I'm not making no excuses. New Mexico just beat them at Jordan Hare today. And I, again, when I said that, I didn't say you couldn't win. I just said it's kind of like going to BYU. It's like you're better than BYU, but it was only a touchdown game. That's what I'm talking about. So, but hey, I get it. New Mexico State, shout out to the Aggies, bro, for beating Auburn at home. That is ridiculous, dog.
That's where I got my undergrad degree, New Mexico State.
You did? Look at you. You an Aggie. We'll take it. We just need an OSU or a Texas loss. That's it. That's right, CB. Hey, man.
One of the two's got to happen, plus win.
So Florida State is playing Louisville in the ACC Championship. Georgia's playing Alabama in the SEC Championship. Iowa in the another snooze fest beat Illinois, and they will be going to the big. Listen, 15-13. I told you, Jason, even at 28-25, take the under, bro. You might be as close to taking winning that as taking over.
What a deal.
Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a college football junkie, but I definitely don't ever watch. I don't ever watch Iowa play. I'm gonna be honest.
You cannot watch it. It's like watching paint dry.
Oh my God! Like,
good.
Shout out to Kurt Ferentz, man, for a long tenure and always, 8-9 wins or whatever. But dog, do they play some boring football, man? 15-13. Come on, man. Him and Brett Bielema, trying to give the game away. But Iowa will see. Yeah, Iowa will see Michigan or Ohio State. So whoever wins that game next week, that game will be at 12:00 noon on Saturday. What time do you guys play next Saturday, Jason?
I'm not too sure yet. It seems it may be. Let me check. I'm guessing it's probably going to be an earlier game because of the other two games.
I got you. Coach says Iowa plays old school ball. No, they play no school ball, coach. Like that.
Boring ball right there.
That's boring football, even for the early 2000s.
It's the 12 o'clock game. So yeah, it's
I got
definitely
you.
a 12 o'clock game for
Ooh,
Oklahoma.
Steve B said OU plays Friday. Hey,
It
stay
is
up on
Friday.
that.
That's right. That's right.
Friday.
That's right. Yeah, Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Yep.
There it
In
is.
fact,
Okay.
Texas does as well. Texas also does. And they're still showing TBA on BYU, Okie Light, and all the rest of them, but I think they're probably Saturday.
Georgia Tech is hosting the Dogs at nighttime in what we call affectionately as Mark Richt Field in Atlanta, because he didn't lose in Atlanta. And then Clemson is going on the road to South Carolina at night to take on the Gamecocks. How you feeling about that game, Seawalk?
I'm feeling pretty good about it, man. As you know, I think we'll be traveling down to Carolina, so I'll be there at the game.
How's your brother feeling?
My brother is one of those Carolina fans who thinks they're 9-3 every year. So, how do you think he's feeling?
Like that guy.
Listen. He was watching the Clemson game today, man, and you would have thought that Nate Wiggins was the worst cornerback in the country. Listening to my brother, and I'm thinking, dude, like, you've got one receiver. You're gonna have to find somebody else to come play football if you think you're gonna score a bunch of points against us. Like,
what should happen next Saturday is you guys should be able to run as much as you want on them, because their run defense is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right, Coach, we appreciate you getting in with us, man. Yeah, we're gonna probably wrap it up here in 15-30 minutes or so. Yeah, man, you guys should be able to run on them liberally, because their run defense is absolutely terrible. They got decent secondary. The problem is they can't get no pressure on nobody. They only got like one or two guys in the front seven that can really get pressure. You got I never remember the dude's name, but it's he talks a lot of trash on social media, but he's pretty good. It's a D lineman. They got a D lineman at a lot. Debo Williams, the linebacker. He's good. He's good at getting pressure. Their secondary is better.
It's better, but it's not as good as that. It's not a typical Carolina secondary.
Exactly. Like their secondary is normally pretty, I ain't gonna say lockdown, but really close. You know what I'm saying? They always have an NFLer back there. And I don't know if they have an
I would say Dial's not playing as good as he did last year.
Bruh, I thought he was gonna be like all SEC level coming.
Yeah, I figured he'd make him some money.
Yeah. Hey, we appreciate you, Mike Dub, man. Hey, we'll see you on the next one, man.
Take it easy, Mike, and thanks for the subscription, Mike.
Yeah, man. So
we'll talk to you later.
All right, so Stephen G says Jason just did the tiebreaker website. We need K-State to lose and either OSU and Texas to lose. I thought if Texas loses, you guys are in.
If Texas loses, they're in. Or OU's in for sure.
Yeah. That's how. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not other. Let's see,
because they have because the first tiebreaker is head to head, no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. That's head to head. That's what I was saying. So I mean, you can want OSU to lose, but then you need some other stuff to happen. I think you want Texas to lose.
You know what though? I don't think that's. Stephen G, what are you thinking on it? Did when they rewrote it? Did they rewrite it to where it's?
Well, what they did was
no. Hold on. Let me go. I'll go to the website and look at it myself.
Yeah,
because I don't trust that calculator.
Yeah. I just think, like I said, I think you guys more than not should want Texas to lose if you want to play for the Big 12 championship. But I think you guys are the better team, Seawalk. But again, if it's one place outside of LSU and Clemson and Athens and maybe Tuscaloosa, dog, like it's a lot of places. It's a place like Columbia, you just don't want to play at nighttime because we already know how their fans are. And listen, I know people don't think fans can affect the game, but they can affect the game. And with K's decision making, if you should come into the game and not rely on the run game, that's where it's going to be a mistake. If you rely on the run game, easy win.
I've been there for this game, I think 3 times at night, and that place has been empty by halftime. All right. And we going in to do that again. All right. That's what we're going to do.
Listen, what years were those? Because I guarantee you those were years where you were better than Clemson. Listen, Seawalt, you're a Clemson fan, dog. You are not the same Clemson you were in those years. So
I know, man.
Yeah. I
But
think you guys will
one
win.
can hope we're going to empty this. That's my goal every year.
I think
every
you
other
guys
year is
will-
to empty Williams-Brice.
I think you guys should win.
If it's a 4-way tie, it puts Oklahoma State versus Texas. What Stephen G's saying.
Okay. So that means if K-State wins next week, that would mean 4-way tie. Because Texas would lose. I got you. I see what
And it
you're
would
saying.
be
Texas,
the two head-to-heads.
I got you. Texas loses. Oklahoma State wins. You guys, nope. Yeah. That's what it would. Texas. If Texas loses,
how would it be different?
If Texas loses, that's all. Listen, if Texas loses, that creates the 4-way tie. Everybody else wins. Texas loses, that creates a 4-way tie.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's what you. I mean, but listen, you want a chance, right? So that's
I
all
don't
you
even
can
know what it means. Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day. So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Thanksgiving is coming up next week. I'm pretty sure Seawalt the dinner is gonna be crazy with you, bro. If for those that don't know, his bro is an avid South Carolina fans, and if you're not from the South, South Carolina fans drink a little something when they become fans to make them believe that they're gonna win every single game by 100. And that's no joke. I'm just telling you, that's just how it is.
Listen, this is how our Thanksgiving table is. Me, Clemson, younger brother Carolina, older brother Georgia, mom Alabama. So
hey, older brother just sitting back watching y'all argue about stuff.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It is what it is, man. Hey, man, good win for everybody, man. Those guys that tonight, the later games, South Carolina won, Texas won, Washington won, and K-State pulled off their game. Now, if you really want some more football, New Mexico is playing right now. So there's that, man. We're gonna actually get out of here a little bit early tonight, man. I'm gonna go up here and chill with my little man. He gets a little bit of extra time when the Dogs win. So basically every Saturday for the past 2.5 years. But Jason, before we get out of here, man, tell the people where they can find you.
Hall of Fame College Football with Jason the Coach. It's at CFB-pod on YouTube. And then you can always find me on Twitter at JW_HOF. You see right there on the screen. And I'm always here. Got my toothbrush in the back.
Hey, he'll be here on Wednesdays when we do our rankings, and then I'm on his show on Thursdays when he goes over it again, and sometimes on Tuesdays after Respect the Hedges. So y'all make sure y'all go over there if you haven't already. Check it out. Seawalt, tell the people where they can find you, man.
Yeah, 4th and Goal with Seawalt, YouTube, Twitter. Come check it out. Like I said earlier, new to the YouTube creation world, so come tell me what you think, and then Saturday night's on here.
Ooh, y'all go check him out, man. Seawalt, that's 4th and Goal with Seawalt. Y'all go check him out, man. We got another interesting family dynamic here. Mars says his dad is USC and his mom is Oklahoma. Dad, listen, mom just looking at dad and shaking her head like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? So, oh man. So, and then Peggy gets in and says, "Roll Tide." Hey man, rep right, rep your team right, man. That's right. And again, man, every Saturday at 10:30 until college football season is over. Saturday night snap count. Seawalt, you got something else?
Yeah, one thing. Shout out to Peggy. Happy birthday. And
Happy birthday to Peggy.
And she loved that Auburn loss for her birthday.
Oh, for sure. What better present, you know what I'm saying? And to a G5 team nonetheless at home. So hey man, we thank everybody for coming in, man. I guess the stat guy was it was too close of a win, but he got it, and maybe he couldn't take all the excitement. So getting ready for that Clemson game next week, man. We will be doing a preview this week with Seawalt and the stat guy, talking about the Clemson South Carolina game. Look out for that on Monday on the Fanatic Sports Network, man. For my guys, Jason and Seawalt, man, it's a Saturday night snap count on the Fanatic Sports Network, man, and we will be out.